Good morning, I'm Shawn Yao and this is One News Now. Public transportation resumes as Metro Manila and nearby provinces shift back to general quarantine or general community quarantine today. News 5's JC Cosico is coming to us live from Pasay City to give us the latest. JC, how's the situation over there with public transport?
Shawn, train lines and buses are now up and running again after 2 weeks of non-operations because of the modified enhanced community quarantine. Here at the MRT Taft Avenue station in Pasay City, security officials say passengers started to arrive around 5:30 a.m. But there were few passengers observed past 7 a.m. Signage indicating no face mask, no face shield, no ride policy were seen at the station as the DOTR earlier ordered this in all sectors of public transportation. Commuters underwent the regular thermal scanning, including the signing of health declaration forms upon entry to the station. 18 train sets are ready to be dispatched and will be regularly disinfected. Apart from the MRT, operations of the LRT lines 1 and 2 and the Philippine National Railways have also resumed today. Rail employees underwent COVID-19 testing before returning to work. Regular symptom check will also be conducted, and those who will show any COVID-19 symptoms will be isolated. In the meantime, other commuters opted to take the bus going to work on the first day of GCQ. Passenger capacity inside the buses is kept to a minimum to maintain physical distancing. We talked to some commuters and here's what they have to say on the resumption of public transportation. Here's what they have to say.
Okay na yun, sir, kasi may mga masasakyan na dati wala kami nasakyan at ang hirap.
Bakit din, kaso kailangan doble ingat lang talaga.
Mas okay po kasi mas nakakauwi na. Dati kasi stay in ako. Ngayon nakauwi na, mas okay. 15 days yung kung kailan mula MSCQ nagsimula.
Shawn, earlier we saw some commuters not wearing face shields, hence they were not allowed to board the buses, but there are vendors of face shields here in the area. Meantime, transport authorities have reminded the public to maintain or follow health standards to control the spread of COVID-19. Back to you.
Thank you for that update, JC Cosico of News 5, joining us live from Pasay. And jeepneys and taxis also resume operations today, but some drivers are still crying out for help. Health protocols are also hardly observed in some makeshift terminals. News 5's Justine Punsalang joins us live from Manila this time around to give us updates. Justine, what's the latest from Manila?
Shawn, jeepneys are once again back on the road as today marks the start of general community quarantine here in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. However, some jeepney drivers are still not yet allowed to operate despite the LTFRB authorizing 2,200 units in 34 new routes today. In Tondo, Manila, jeepneys plying the Pitil-San Lazaro route line up along the road as they wait for passengers. Because they lack proper terminal, the IATF protocol is noticeably not followed. Some passengers ride the jeep even without face shields, and there was nobody taking the body temperature and giving out alcohol to commuters. Jeepney driver Arnold Castro said that he was able to save some money the first time they were allowed to return to operations. He said this money was just enough for the needs of his family during the 15-day MECQ. But not all drivers were fortunate as Castro. Along Rizal Avenue, there are still traditional jeepneys under the Baclaran Divisoria and Baclaran Monumento routes that await their fate. Since March, Delphine Cantado and his fellow drivers are not able to operate. From around 40 drivers, their numbers dwindled down to 15 as many of them decided to return to their provinces because of lack of income, while others find different means to earn money like selling coconuts. Same goes for jeepneys with Baclaran Lumenchit route. According to Arnold Cunanan, there are around 22 drivers that have been jobless since the start of the pandemic. He said that there are good Samaritans like barangay officials, police, and even private citizens that have been donating food and money to them, which help them cope with their daily needs. Nevertheless, they make efforts to earn on their own by reselling face shields with only 2 pesos profit per item. On the other hand, taxi drivers are having their own problems. While they are already allowed to operate again starting today, they hardly have any passengers. Taxi driver Giovanni Metuca said that many commuters do not have enough money to pay for the metered fare of their vehicles. He said before COVID-19 hit the country, they already have 500 peso income as early as 7 in the morning. But during the GCQ, the line of taxi units is so long that security guards have to ask them to leave. He said they could not simply roam the roads in hope for a passenger because they will just lose gas. Sean, according to the LTFRB, additional 2,300 units in 26 routes will be allowed to operate starting tomorrow. But it appears that Baclaran-bound jeepneys are not among these numbers. This is why the drivers are asking the government to let them operate, for they have been jobless since March. Sean?
All right, thank you for that update, Justine Punsalang, reporting to us live from Manila. And Senator Bong Revilla was rushed to the hospital on Tuesday afternoon, over a week after he tested positive for COVID-19. His wife, Bacoor City Mayor Lani Mercado Revilla, said the senator has developed pneumonia based on his latest x-ray. Because of this, doctors said isolation in a regular facility is no longer ideal. The senator earlier said his family tested negative for the coronavirus, but a member of his household and one staff member were found positive for the disease. Last March, a longtime staffer passed away from COVID-19. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.